Okay guys, this is my rules for my death battle. I am giving this to you so that you can understand what kind of rules I will be using and enforcing, and if there's ever a rule change, I will try to do an update before the next death battle to explain the rule change so it doesn't just come right out of nowhere in the next fight. Right. Now, the rules they're standard rules that will never change. First off, the one rule is personality traits will always remain intact except for the restraint to kill. But the restraint ain't on specific ways to kill will still remain intact. Like Batman refuses to use a gun. So, since he refuses to use a gun, he cannot kill in that way in a death battle. Or like how Goku refuses not to have a fair fight when he's fighting someone, he won't use a specific weakness like a rock, like kryptonite, to do it. So there. Next, how this fight ends, it will always end in a death or something equivalent to death. Like how Dragon Ball Z basically said that if you die while you're, like how Vegeta was technically dead when he was holding off Kid Buu, when Vegeta was dead and he was holding off Kid Buu, Goku told him before he did that to be careful, because that if he dies again while already being dead, he will cease to exist. If something like that will count in my book as a death, basically. Like you destroy the soul, say for Scorpion or Ghost Rider, so that they are technically non-existing anymore, so boom, that counts. But say something like Hedon and Deadpool. I need to get this right off the bat. Incapacitation. Well, first off, I'm also going to say Edo Tensei, if someone's similar to an Edo Tensei to where they heal instantaneously, like there's nothing that can kill them, but you have a technical way to steal them, then yes, that counts as a death. Quote unquote. Now, Hedon, just blowing him up into pieces would count, whereas it wouldn't for Deadpool. Now you're probably thinking, why? Well, Deadpool, his head will regenerate the rest of his body. Hedon's won't. Hedon has shown that to get his body back, or get that limb back, he has to reattach it, replace it, then have it sewed back on, and then wait for the stitching to heal, like how stitches work in real life, only at a much faster rate for him. Basically, that's how it works. He would have to have stitches to fix the dismembered limb. It's just not as slow as it would be in real life. But that still requires someone else to do it for him, so technically a incapacitation. Whereas Deadpool, he can replace a limb right here, and it would, you cut off his arm, and unless you cut off his arm with a carbonadium sword, which I doubt anyone other than Marvel has, and if they do have it, it's an extreme coincidence. So, he cut off his arm with something not made of carbonadium, he places it right here, it'll instantly heal up. It can do that with Hedon, he places it right here, it'll just re-fall off unless he places it and says, okay, has something to hold it in that spot, and then starts sewing himself up, or someone else sews him up. That's how he would have to be healed. So, that. Now the next big rule is placing a character at, how much of their abilities or such do we give them? For example, Do we put Spawn in his God mode thing that he had, where he became master of the universe and made the universe in his own image? Do we give him that power, or do we? I mean, and people will say, yeah, it didn't really matter. He wins without it. So what's the point? Okay. But people still complain about Cloud, saying, oh, Cloud didn't get his ultimate weapon, Cloud didn't get this. Okay. So you're saying, so if people are not okay with Cloud getting that, and are Cloud, well, yes, and then they're going to use the excuse on Spawn because he won, so it doesn't matter. What about Iron Man versus Lex Luthor? If Luthor had this one thing that was a one-time thing that happened, if he had the thing, he would have won. And you're probably wondering, what's the one-time thing? It's an injection that gives him Superman's abilities. Now, even if you're going to say Superman has limits, he's at least Hulk level. And Hulk has enough strength to lift a 1 billion ton mountain. So after the war suit being damaged, he could activate the injection. He would inject himself with it and become Superman, and basically pulverize Iron Man. He would have won. So should we give him that? It was only one time. Should we? No. Obviously, you want to put them. You don't want to take too much away, because to where they can't fight, or it's not even worth fighting. But you don't want to give them everything, because then there are some things that are like OP, and also you don't do hypotheticals like, oh, Goro has wind nature, so that means he knows basic wind style jutsu. What's considered basic that you teach someone who has? What's considered basic wind style jutsu that you would teach someone who has wind nature? Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. So we don't know and we don't even know if he knows that. We just know he has that nature. We don't know if what moves he can use with that nature, so we can't give him any moves. No, we can't give him tomorrow's moves. But we don't know if he can do those, and those require a fit. You see? But because if we're going to go by that logic, why not give Ben 10, let's put him in Alien X form with the Ultimatrix, and give him Ultimate Alien X, and let him beat up Goku. Oh wait, that's not fair. He doesn't have the Ultimatrix anymore. And he can't do that. And he never did that, so we don't know what Ultimate Alien X would look like, or his abilities would be. So, you see where I'm going. You don't do hypotheticals, and don't just give them everything or ignore the fact that Death Battle has given that, oh, this one character lost, and I like them, so I didn't feel they gave them all they could, but I'm gonna ignore this other character because I don't really care for him too much. If you're gonna, you gotta be fair. Yeah. So my policy is this: you put them in the most recent but yet decent fighting shape. Like, for example, well, did you know that currently in the Marvel Comics that Captain America doesn't have a super soldier serum? Now, shall we use that version? No! But did you also know in the Marvel Comics that Wolverine doesn't have a healing factor? Should we use that version? Yes! Now you're probably thinking, what's the difference? Well, Wolverine still has all of his other mutant abilities with the animal senses and such, and the super strength and super speed. Plus, he still has the adamantium skeleton and claws, and he has a suit to provide him some more durability to make up for the lack of a healing factor. Captain America has nothing that's replacing his super soldier serum. So no. Oh, we have to give him the super soldier serum because he really can't do anything without it, so it's not fair. Wolverine can still fight and still has abilities. A lot of interesting stuff that would make it a fair fight. I mean, and you're probably thinking, oh, Captain. Yeah, no, like you remember Captain America's form before he got the serum? He's even worse. He's now an old man. He now looks like an old man, plus the wrinkled, surly body he had before. You really want that person? Or do we really need to use Oracle instead of Batgirl? Do we really need a lady in a wheelchair in there using Tompa? No. But you don't. So don't. But you also don't need to put Superman Prime in the fight or Ultimate Alien X in the fight. You gotta find that middle ground. You don't put them in their OP once per time form. And by the way, there's more characters besides those two that have those OP once per time form. What about Generator X when he had the Ultimate Nanite that gave him mastery of space, time, on all the elements, and basically with a simple thought, he could cure including the uncurable Evos, including the uncurable ones. He was able to, with a simple thought, just go cure all Evos. Except for himself, he cured everyone on Earth with a simple thought. Plus, he barely equaled the Consortium when they each had those powers and were separately fighting him. They only had 1/5 of it, and he was barely holding on. And then when they teamed up and he used his super form, he barely held on and managed to absorb the form. So a barely hold on form plus like all the Consortium using the nanite thing, not at its full power, and he had a form that could hold its own against that, plus the ultimate power thing. I'm pretty sure we can go back to the pre-ultimate power thing, right? I'm pretty sure we can all agree that doesn't need to happen. Let's give Sonic both the Super Emerald and the Master. Give him the Super Emerald so he can go Hypersonic and Supersonic individually. And I'm pretty sure no one wants that. Let's give. You see, characters have this one per time ultimate be all end all bullcrap form, and a lot of characters do it. But should we use that one per time form? No. It just then what's the point of having the death battle? Why cut some things that, like, for example, they cut out the Mega Evolutions for Pokemon. And also with games, it's a little bit harder, but I've decided, especially for platformers, I'm going to be trying to use their newest game's abilities only. Trying to use that. Like, the stuff that they get in their newest game, that stuff, like, I'll take their moves, but like power-ups and items. So no fire shield for Sonic, no electric shield, blah 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 blah. All the power-ups will come straight from Lost World. Mario's powers would all come straight from 3D World. That's kind of how I'll be doing it. And I will rewind a character back to their most recent non-broken form where they can be killed. and explain that there is how you can kill the character, such and such. I will always try to get the character to balance it out. I will try my best to balance it out and give the character who has the lowest amount and make sure that the fun is as balanced as possible. Especially when I'm trying to line up like the times. For example, Naruto and Last Airbender. Naruto had the original Naruto part in regular light orange Naruto manga, and then the dark colored Naruto manga, which when those were turned into an anime were called Naruto Shippuden. So the original light orange was manga 26, 27, the original 26, 27 manga, when they were turned into an anime, they were called Naruto. Those. Then the rest of them, the dark colored orange, when turned into an anime, were called Naruto Shippuden. So that's two parts, but still one whole thing. So I would consider that entire series equivalent to the entire series of Last Airbender, the 3 books of Last Airbender, plus the comics that came after, that took place, like the comics about the Yao Dai incident, the fight with the old Iron Spirit. Look that up, and the journey to find Zuko's mom. I would also consider that equivalent to part 1 Naruto. Like, all that put together is equivalent to, at least to me, to part 1 and part 2 of Naruto. Now, if you wanted to use the adult version that we see in the flashbacks of Legend of Korra, that stuff is, to me, equivalent to the Naruto Gaiden stuff. Like the stuff that not the little books that take place after the 4th Great Ninja War. I'm talking about the manga that was based on Sarada finding out if Sakura is her real mom, with spoilers, Sakura is Sarada's real mom. And the Boruto movie. That's where I would put it at. Okay? Also, I would consider the last Naruto movie a part of the first, what I was saying with the original part 1 of Naruto and part 2 of Naruto, and the spin-off books that take place after the 4th Great Ninja War. And also, it would count the last Naruto movie. That would be one part, or at least equivalent to the Avatar book 1, 2, and 3, and the comics that take place still while he's in adolescence. Whereas the Sarada the Naruto Gaiden manga that is based on Sarada, finding Sasuke and also finding out if Sakura really is her mother, and the Boruto movie, I consider equal to Aang in the Legend of Korra series. So, if I was to use Aang from the Legend of Korra flashbacks, I'd have to use Naruto from the Naruto Gaiden or the Boruto or the Boruto movie. But if I was to use Aang from the series or the series in the books, I'd have to use Naruto from the last Naruto movie. So, hopefully those are the rules. If you have any more questions, like anything specific you want to ask me, write it in the comment section below. Thank you, and have a great day.